Be prepared. The sky may look the same, but your heart knows something has changed. This full moon has opened more than a cosmic window. It has split a veil. A love portal has been activated, and if you've felt restless, emotional, or like someone is thinking of you without reason, you're not imagining it. You're receiving it. Have you noticed the sudden memories? The dreams of someone you can't forget? The energy of a presence that hasn't left even after time and silence? That's not nostalgia. That's frequency. That's soul recognition in motion. Right now, your soulmate bond is shifting dimensions. And it's not something you can force, chase, or logically explain. This is sacred timing, a divine edit, a vibrational upgrade in the blueprint of your love path. This portal doesn't ask for action. It asks for reception, to feel instead of fix, to trust instead of control. Because love isn't being delayed anymore, it's being aligned. And if your heart has been whispering their name lately, it's because their soul is already on its way back to you. The sky doesn't lie. When the full moon rises in its complete glow, it doesn't just light up the night, it activates the hidden corners of your heart. And this time, the activation is different. This time, the moon is not simply reflecting emotions, it's opening a portal, a love portal. One that reaches beyond romance and touches the blueprint of your soul's deepest agreements. What's happening now isn't about longing, it's about alignment. The full moon brings culmination, yes, but also revelation. You may start to feel things that were buried. Long forgotten memories may return, not to haunt, but to clarify. You may sense the presence of someone, even if they haven't been part of your physical world for a long time. Why now? Because the frequency of this moon is calling home the pieces of you still entangled in unresolved love. Not for nostalgia, but for upgrade. This is the moment where soulmates get activated through silence, where energy speaks louder than words. Have you noticed the timing? That just as this moon reaches its peak, old cycles start to feel heavier? That you've been thinking of someone without knowing why? Someone who once mirrored something deep inside you? That's not random. That's resonance. Your connection to them may have seemed finished, but your soul feels the shift before your mind understands it. This portal isn't opening doors that don't belong. It's illuminating the doorways that have always been there, the ones you couldn't walk through until now. And the key? Emotional readiness, not desperation, not fantasy, but energetic truth. So what's happening now is more than emotional. It's architectural. The universe is rearranging the geometry of your heart space, closing off what no longer fits your frequency, softening your energy to receive what was always meant for you when you finally stopped trying to control it. This is why you may feel both tenderness and intensity, both hope and fear, both calm and urgency. You're being stretched open to receive a love that doesn't need fixing, just recognition. Have you caught yourself waking up from dreams that felt more real than your days? Have you sensed someone thinking of you, not vaguely but viscerally? That's the portal working through the subconscious. The moon is illuminating what words couldn't carry, what separation couldn't erase. And for many, this portal isn't bringing someone new. It's bringing a new version of someone old. Not to repeat the past, but to redeem it. For others, it's bringing the internal closure that clears the path for what's next. Either way, this shift is sacred. So stay present, stay soft, and above all, stay tuned in. Because this portal has already opened, and it's not asking you to chase love, it's asking you to remember it. Before the mind catches up, before anything is said, before any message is sent, the soul feels. That's how it begins. A sudden emotion you can't explain, a heaviness in the chest that comes out of nowhere. Or a rush of warmth when you hear a name, see a sign, smell a scent. During this full moon portal, your emotions aren't just yours, they are echoes. Echoes of soul memory, of unfinished stories, of connections that were never just physical. When the moon pulls the ocean, it also pulls the tides within you. And right now, those emotional tides are carrying fragments of spiritual memory to the surface. You might feel like crying without knowing why. You might feel like someone is touching your heart across distance and time. You're not going crazy. You're remembering. This is the moment when your body becomes the instrument of revelation. Emotional waves aren't dysfunction. They are data. Each surge of feeling is a messenger. Each ache is an activation. Have you asked yourself lately, why am I suddenly thinking about them? Or, why does this emotion feel ancient? That's your spirit stirring. That's your love story re-entering the field of possibility, not through logic, but through frequency. Because love, real love, is never just about a person. It's about what that person awakens in you. The part of you that went quiet, the part that still waits. And under this moon, those parts come back online. Not so you can suffer, but so you can finally feel them fully and decide consciously what you are ready to release or reclaim. The reason this feels so intense isn't because something is wrong. It's because the veil is thin. You're touching layers of your own soul you've kept buried to survive. You're seeing the blueprint underneath the story. And that blueprint might show you where your pain began, but also where your healing is already unfolding. You may wake up from dreams that feel more like messages. You may feel drawn to music, poetry, or symbols that remind you of someone, not in sadness, but in clarity. You might even feel like their energy is reaching for you, and maybe it is. This moon teaches that separation is not always distance. Sometimes it's a pause in awareness. And as you become aware again, the emotions rush back in, not to drown you, to rewire you, because you can't shift into a new frequency until the old one has been felt through. So let yourself feel. Let the waves come, not to break you, but to cleanse what has been stuck inside you far too long. Let them soften the places where you once became hard. Let them remind you that you are still connected, not just to them, but to the part of yourself that believed in love before it was interrupted. Because the soul never forgets. And under this moon, your heart finally remembers. There's a pull you can't explain, a magnetic sensation that seems to hum just beneath your ribs, quiet but persistent. You go about your day, but something keeps tugging at your awareness. A name, a memory, a presence that doesn't leave, even when it's not physically there. You wonder, though, am I imagining this? Why now? But deep down, you know, this isn't your imagination. This is the full moon amplifying a call that started long ago. A soul-level connection that has begun to stir again. This portal doesn't create feelings that weren't already there. It simply removes the static so you can finally hear what's always been transmitting. Someone is thinking of you, not casually, not out of habit, but in that deep, aching way. The heart remembers something unfinished. You might feel them in your dreams, sense them in a crowd, or feel your body respond when you hear their favorite song. These aren't signs meant to confuse, they are spiritual markers, trailheads leading you back to the point of origin. Who is calling you in the silence? Not everyone who crosses your mind is meant to return, but some are. And this moon, in its raw, emotional brilliance, helps you sort the noise from the true signal. Some feelings resurface to be released, others return to be honored. And one, perhaps only one, is returning because the timing is finally sacred. Have you noticed how the body speaks before words arrive? How you can feel someone's energy before they ever show up again? That's the magnetic field of the heart doing what it does best, pulling in truth, filtering out illusions, amplifying what resonates, rejecting what doesn't. During this full moon, your heart becomes a tuning fork, vibrating with the frequency of whatever or whoever is meant for your evolution now. But here's the challenge: don't chase, don't rush, don't fall into the trap of thinking every pull is a green light for action. Sometimes the heart pulls simply to teach you how strong the connection is, even when nothing is said. Because true love doesn't need confirmation to exist. It just is. If they're calling you, you'll feel it. If they're healing too, the signal will feel lighter, not heavier. And if they're meant to return, the universe won't need your interference. It will orchestrate the moment, the meeting, the message, not because you pushed, but because you aligned. Let yourself feel the magnetic pull, but anchor into your own center. This is a sacred intersection between longing and self-trust, between remembering and releasing, between the old cycle's echo and the new chapter's invitation. Because the real question isn't, are they thinking of me? The real question is, am I ready to receive them as I am now? And if the answer is yes, your energy will speak louder than any words. This full moon isn't just activating soulmate connections. It's dissolving what no longer belongs in your heart. Before love can move forward, the old architecture must fall. And this isn't just about letting go of a person. It's about releasing a pattern, a storyline, a version of love you were taught to accept, but which never truly nourished you. Can you feel it? That inner resistance to repeating cycles that once felt like home. The exhaustion of always being the one who waits, who fixes, who compromises too much just to hold on to someone not truly available. That's the blueprint crumbling. And it has to. You were never meant to live in a love that made you shrink. You were never meant to confuse intensity with intimacy or chaos with chemistry. But so many of us did. Not because we were weak, but because we were programmed. We inherited stories from generations that taught us love must be earned, chased, or even suffered for. But the moon is shining now, not just on your longing, but on your liberation. What's ending now is invisible, but monumental. Maybe it's the silent decision not to answer a message that would reopen an old wound. Maybe it's the choice to speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Maybe it's simply a shift inside, that quiet, sovereign knowing, I deserve more. Have you noticed how certain dynamics feel heavier than they used to? How you can't tolerate emotional crumbs anymore? How something in you refuses to repeat what once felt like love, but was actually survival? That's your soul graduating. That's the vibrational upgrade. And it's not just a personal evolution, it's ancestral. Because when you say no to what hurts, you're not just healing yourself, you're rewriting the contract of love that was passed down through bloodlines. You're saying goodbye to trauma patterns that kept women quiet, men guarded, hearts confused. You're breaking the spell, and under this full moon, the universe honors every tear, every heartbreak, every lonely night that led to this awakening. You are not too much. You are not hard to love. You were just trying to bloom in the wrong soil. Now, the soil is shifting. The garden is being replanted. And the love that's coming will not feel like struggle. It will feel like recognition. So don't mourn what's falling away. Celebrate it. Because for the first time, your love story will be written by your healed self, not your wounded one. Let go. Not because they weren't important, but because your new frequency no longer matches the pain. And that, beloved, is the real beginning. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to prove your worth. The love that is truly aligned with your soul has already felt you coming. This full moon isn't calling in a new person. It's calling in a new readiness within you. A new way of receiving what your heart has always wanted, but never fully trusted it could hold. This is not about fantasy. This is about resonance. The person or presence you're beginning to feel again isn't showing up because you finally did everything right. They're showing up because you finally stopped abandoning yourself. You've stopped bargaining with the universe. You've stopped begging for crumbs and started opening to miracles. And miracles don't knock. They arrive when the energy is right. Right now, the shift is happening inside you first. It's the sensation of being full on your own and still being able to hold space for someone else. It's knowing you're complete, not because you're closing your heart, but because you're anchoring your light. Can you feel the difference? How your longing no longer drips with desperation, but with sacred expectation. How you can feel someone's energy without losing your own. That's the maturity of alignment. That's the power of a love that doesn't empty you, it expands you. And it's coming, not as a test, not as a fantasy, but as a mirror to the version of you that had to break open, rebuild, and rise. It may arrive quietly, a message out of nowhere, a synchronous dream, a chance encounter. Or it may unfold through silence, a deep inner knowing that the person meant for you is already connecting with you through the field, even if no words have been spoken yet. The path was never about chasing love. It was about becoming the version of yourself who can hold it when it arrives. And you are that version now. So breathe deeply, stay grounded, and listen. Because what's meant for you is not running late, it's right on time. And this time, it's not showing up to heal you. It's showing up because you are finally healed enough to receive it. Every portal has a peak, and every full moon has a moment where its light begins to wane. But this doesn't mean the energy disappears. It means the universe has spoken. And now, It's your turn to listen. What you felt over these days was not just emotional intensity or romantic nostalgia. It was spiritual alignment in real time. The people, the memories, the sudden dreams and emotions, they were not distractions, they were instructions. And the full moon, in its full radiance, offered you a mirror, not to show you what you lost, but to reveal what you're now ready to embrace. As this portal begins to close, a quiet settles in. You may feel the ache of something unresolved. You may feel an urge to act, to reach out, to hold on. But pause. Because this final moment is not about doing, it's about being. Being still enough to hear your own soul. Being present enough to know what love actually feels like when it isn't covered in fear, doubt, or control. Are you willing to trust that what's aligned will remain, even if it takes time? Are you willing to let go of what pulls you out of yourself, even if part of you still wants to hold on? This is your test, not of love, but of faith, not in someone else, but in the frequency you've become. You are no longer the version of you that begged for signs. You are the sign. And as the moonlight fades, remember, the portal did not open to make someone love you. It opened to remind you that you were never unlovable. It opened to calibrate your vibration to something deeper, truer, quieter. The kind of connection that doesn't need to chase, only to recognize. If something or someone is meant to be in your life, this shift has already begun. And if they are not, this full moon helped you finally close the energetic tab you kept open in your heart for far too long. You don't need to wait anymore. You don't need to wonder. Love is not behind you. It's not in the past. It's in the now. And now, you're finally able to hold it.